afternoon.
Thank you so much, Pamela. So kindly, in a brief, help us relate patriotism to youth empowerment, mainly as today we're focusing on the youth leaders who are being trained here today. How do those two relate?
They actually are brother and sister.
Wow.
Patriotism is the deep love for one's country, and these are children. They have grown up in this country, and they too have a pillar or a brick to put on this house called Uganda. Uganda has a vision, it has a mission, and it has a goal. And when we go back to our motto as a country, it says, "For God and my country," that means that God first and our country next. So everybody who is in this country, be it young, be it old, be it infant, has a purpose for this country, has a goal to fulfill, has a dream that can also be attached to this country. And so how do I relate the two? Patriotism training, I think in 2009, the president, 2009, the president launched this program across all post-primary, secondary, and all tertiary institutions with an intention to inculcate, that word is very heavy, to inculcate norms and values of patriotism amongst the young people. And why the youngest people? Our country is 68% filled with young people.
Actually now around
78% coverage of young people is our country, meaning that the bedrock on which this country is sitting is young people. Like the Bible says, train your child the way it should go, so that when they get there, they don't depart from it. So what the Secretariat of Patriotism under the office of the President is doing is to inculcate those values that these children will never depart from. Values of learning to respect work. When we talk about socioeconomic transformation, that is value of work. When we talk about love, is something that is spread through. Are you loving education? Are you loving environment? Are you loving yourself, your body?
I think that's the most important, because loving the environment, loving others, basically it has to start with you.
Absolutely. You loving your body, like he talks about physical fitness. You as a young person who is in school, are you physically fit? Are you engaging in something? Are you cleaning your environment? Because you see, lately our young people do not do anything at home. There's a housemaid, the mother is doing something, and the child is sitting. So we are saying no. You too get a broom and clean your environment. Clean where you are, clean your body, like be smart, because the order from you affects your neighbor.
Exactly.
So in a community,
it affects you first,
but it also affects those around you. So we are inculcating these values to see that we have a country that is well planned for, well thought out, and also purposed to go ahead with our vision.
Exactly. When you talk about going ahead, talk about vision, talk about mission, do we as young people, not just young people, but as Ugandans, understand what the interests of Uganda are, the vision and the mission that you're talking about? What are those interests?
One of them is that as a country, we have a Vision 2040, and we are saying we want to move away from the peasantry community or society to the modern income society. And what does that mean? We must work. We must begin to think, change the way we look at things from the small to the big. That now you are getting out of the farmland, you are going out to the markets. You are getting out of the market, you're going into value addition. You are spreading through. With the availability of UPE and USE, there is enough education for us to tap on so that we move forward in achieving that vision. Now, back to today's event. Why are we engaging the youth leaders in patriotism? As we said, 78% of our population is highly youth. And these youth have been given a platform at all levels, right from the parish to the sub-county to the district, and even inside government, to be able to represent the plight of the youth, the demands of the youth, the ideas of the youth, and represent them. Now, these youth leaders, you'll follow that some of them have not been tooled. They've not been given that capacity to go out and influence that young people to be a part of the bigger vision, which is the Vision 2040, to be a part of the Uganda that we want to see, the Uganda that we want to be, the Uganda that you and I would wish to be.
So what exactly do you do in these trainings that is going to tool and empower the young people?
We ideologically orient them. Because one of the biggest challenges of Uganda is ideological disorientation. Ideology comes from the word
Doesn't that
idea.
come to the issue of mindset and
Definitely. You cannot have good ideas if your mindset is right or wrong. We are saying, can we all think the same? Can we all focus the same without ideas of another nature, negative to be precise, come into play? So we need to ideologically send them to a certain direction which enlightens them, opens up their minds, and retools them to begin thinking the bigger idea. And the bigger idea is saying Vision 2040. How can you be a part of it as a youth leader? We're saying influence, teach. Because one of the challenges we have in Uganda is that we have so much knowledge, but it has not been disseminated down. It has not been broken down for others to be a part of it.
who is supposed to be doing that?
All of us.
Wow.
Not just me.
But doesn't that
You
take
have
away
a voice through the camera.
Doesn't that take away the issue of responsibility? Because if we say all of us, then it's going to be no
Now,
one.
there is a responsibility with everybody. One, a parent has a responsibility as the first unit of government, which is the family. As a parent, you and the father and the mother in that household, you should teach your children these norms and values so that they also spread out when they go to the schools. They teach others. I am talking about the LC1 has a responsibility in community service. Can you clean your environment? Can you plant trees? Can you stop deforestation and we do more of afforestation? Can we have the chairman of the district also speaking that ideology? Can I have the youth leader, because he has a platform everywhere to disseminate this? Can I have the religious leader speak? Because the Bible is one of the greatest manuals, life manuals that we have, and everything is embedded there, love being one of them. And you know very well that love is the greatest gift of all.
Oh, yes.
Greatest gift. And so if we can be able to express it, we can be able to act it, share it. We are talking about issues of, tribalism. How can you love me without knowing where I come from? Can you know that I'm your brother and sister without affiliating me to a tribe? Just love me as I am.
Just being African is more than enough.
Absolute. Being Ugandan is all that matters. African is all that matters. That's why the president talks about Pan-Africanism. That if your brother in Congo is hurting, you should not laugh.
And say
Join them.
that's an issue to do with Congo.
No, because he's your neighbor. He will spread through with the pain. You too will be affected.
Coming back to youth empowerment.
Yes.
Do you really understand the challenges that the young people are facing and what they need to be done in order for them to be empowered?
Absolutely.
Because the challenge is most of them feel as if there is a detachment, a disconnection from the leaders to what's happening on ground. What are you doing to make sure that the approaches you're going to use, the solutions you're going to provide really do serve the purpose of youth empowerment and serves the right challenges that the young people are facing?
One of the greatest challenges the young people are facing is lack of knowledge. Because knowledge is power. Somebody must talk to the youth. That's what I call engagement. We must engage them. Because somebody is feeding them with knowledge that they don't need. We as their leaders must give them the knowledge they are yearning for. How do I grow rich? How do I stay in school? How do I excel? How do I express myself? How do I grow? Because the youth, as they are widely known, they are always anxious. They are restless. But there must be somebody to keep them rest by giving them that knowledge. Knowledge of opportunities available for them, knowledge of what is ahead of them that we are planning for them, but also knowledge on how do they fully participate in those opportunities given to them. I'll give an example. As a monitor of government programs, we have the youth livelihood. But you find that even in this day and age, since the launching of this program, there are still the youth who do not know the existence of this program. And how they can be a part of this.
Is it their problem that they don't understand or they are not aware about those programs?
We have quite a number of stakeholders who enable us to trickle down this information. One of them are the community development officers. And you find that some of them are not residents in those sub-counties. They are not calling out all the youth to come in big numbers to get this knowledge. And even the program has challenges that the training is limited. that before we disperse money to them, we must exhaust this knowledge into them that we are giving you money. This is how you should use it. They need skills on financial literacy. They need skills on record keeping. They need skills on management of businesses. They need skills on marketing.
I think you're talking right on exactly what I asked, and actually that's why I asked that question.
Yes.
That we might be providing solutions, but the approach might be a wrong one. When you talk about CDOs and you know, the people that are in the positions of helping the young people,
yes,
saying some of them will not be coming from, might not be residents of those places. And again, the programs that you'll be taking to these areas, if you don't really understand the challenges these young people are facing, and you just take money to them through these programs, it's not going to solve the problem.
No, but you see, like I mentioned, one of the challenges in Uganda is ideological disorientation, that there is that need to quickly gain and ignore the baby steps in how you gain. The youth want to be in a hurry to receive, but yet the greatest tool we need to give them is knowledge, so that even if they don't benefit from this opportunity from government, they can survive and manage wherever opportunities avail themselves. It is not about where you are, but what you go in there with, because you find that there is somebody who is earning very heavily in agriculture. Issues of youth who are selling land, which is very, very an important tool of labor, into border. You look at ideological disorientation. So for me, the greatest way we can reach them is knowledge. And there is knowledge at every fora. But the youth is looking elsewhere. Quick gain.
Perfect. Looking at the challenges that the young people are facing, we want to understand what are the challenges that the young people are facing. Are the leaders really understanding what the challenges are, and is the approach right? Let's listen into a number of young people. They tell us what exactly they expect from this training, but also how can their challenges be solved and how they can be empowered.
My name is Faith Lugo, and I'm a youth from Bali. First of all, I look forward to getting more knowledge, because I believe that ignorance is one of the most dangerous things. If you're not informed, it means you're going to do so many errors. Once the youth are economically empowered, they can be good to the country, they can be beneficial, because we believe these are the future leaders and they need to get such information. So the ideology of patriotism also helps us to know more about our own country. It is surprising that there are some people in our country that don't know anything about the country. They cannot tell us the statistics, they cannot know the position in which the country Uganda is in. So if you understand our country better, it means that we can do better for it.
My name is Nabgosi Patience. We really need to fight for our Uganda as patriots. Patriotism can help me to become a good leader. Like when you're a patriot, you really learn how to handle your country. You know the problems it's facing, then you get the solutions to them.
I'm called Honorable Wamalwa Augustine, and I'm a youth representative for Bale City Industrial State Division in charge of sports and culture. We have learned about the values of patriotism, which is the hard work. As a young people, and this as one of the principles of patriotism, we realize that we as young people, we need to be hard workers. We need to do anything that we feel can earn us something to see that we earn a living, compared to when we sit and wait each and every time to see that we are being given, waiting for support. And through hard working, we have realized that you can do anything. Yeah, start something for yourself as a youth, and these are some of the things that we have learned. If we start something, it shows that you will be able to earn a living, and through that you are doing something. Let the government get you when you're already doing something as a young person. Another value that we have learned is about being honest. You know, being honest is that aspect of talking what you believe in. What is that truth that you are in? Most of us sometimes we have lost our honesty because of so many things that happen around us, and through that we have lost on so many opportunities as young people. Whenever you are honest, if you are given a task to perform, can you perform that task with minimal supervision? And through that, you realize that people will honor you always and will respect you, and anything that comes on your way as an opportunity, people will always recommend you for those opportunities.
Yes, my name is Wadenga Cyrus Ovoya. I am a youth leader at district level, and to be in particular, that is Sonoko District Youth Council. Patriotism instills in you a spirit to realize that, yes, in the first place, before anyone can even help you as a youth, before government can come as a youth, what do you have to do as a youth? There are some small things which a youth takes for granted. For instance, a youth can have his 20,000 shillings in the pocket, but instead of him looking at maybe buying, like in our communities, hens cost very little money. You can buy your small chicks at 5,000, 3,000, like 20,000. You get your 4 chicks, and by 3 months, they have added some profits. But a youth takes that for granted and instead takes the little 20,000, and the only thing he can think of is to take the money in sports betting. At the end of the day, you realize that a youth remains poor, but yet he has the money to empower himself, but he has no ideas of improving himself. So when you come in this camp of patriotism, they instill in you an advice that you can actually start out something by yourself. You actually have the means of starting something, but you are just ignorant.
Those are very, very good insights from the young people, and I do believe you can really understand where they're coming from and what is on their mind. Coming back to you, we see all these challenges that the young people are facing. What should be done to make sure that the young people are empowered, but most especially starting with the leaders? Because when you empower these youth leaders, they can be able to go back and empower their fellows back in the villages.
I think it must be a deliberate decision, especially from us, the key stakeholder called government, to be able to engage the young people. Because like it or not, it's the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
We must engage them and fully utilize their brain and energy to get the best out of them. And for me, my approach is build their capacity. I would love to see a Uganda where at every sub-county there is a youth-friendly corner where the youth can come and pick on anything that they are comfortable with and engage in them. I want to see a youth-friendly facilitator giving them time and love. You know, there are quite interesting things. There is giving somebody insight, but not love them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you find that the young are very difficult to manage. Some of them have challenges of confidence, some of them challenges of abuse, some of them challenges of emotional abuse, and to mention but a few. So you must pull them, make it friendly for them to get these services, and actually inspire them to go out and do that which they have learned. So we must have training centers at every sub-county, or if possible, at constituency levels in our districts, which can enable the youth go and pick a skill. And that must be an investment by government. Because since they are the backlog of this country and the bedrock on which we sit, they must be given priority. That's a must. Priority must be given to the young people. The leaders of these young people must also be given capacity, because most of them come with political, feelings around them, glaring around them, and so they enter with political sentiments inside. But they must come with the leadership sentiments, a willingness to fight for the rights of the younger people that they're representing, and also inspiring change and making decisions. We want to see youth leaders spearheading key decisions in their areas,
Exactly.
saying, this is what we want.
I think that's one of the questions that the young people are raising to you when you're presenting.
Yes.
How can we foster youth inclusion in critical decision making?
The youth have been involved everywhere. We have youth in all the sub-county councils.
It seems they are not
We
being
have
heard.
youth even in the district councils. No, they are not speaking.
Maybe you're not giving them space to speak.
No. They have space, ample space. But they themselves don't know what to even lobby for.
Are their voices being ignored?
Yes, they are being heard. They are being heard. Priority is actually being given to the youth. In all the programs of government, be it at the inception, at the closure, the youth are involved.
Why don't they
There
feel
is a youth
so?
component in all the government programs.
Why are they not feeling so?
Because they don't want to see the benefit in it, they want the money in it.
But why don't they want, and what is causing that?
Ideological disorientation.
Wow.
the bedrock on which they entered leadership is what determines what they fight for.
The mentorship they got, do they even get mentorship?
No, they don't. So we need also to begin talking induction for leaders.
I don't,
At all forums.
I don't usually like to do blame game, but who is to blame for they not being mentored?
Everybody. Because I don't want you to look at it from the government point of position, because government gives you a fora. And when it gives you a fora, or the democracy that we are enjoying gives each leader fora to express themselves. And as they debate and put resources on the side, they should also prioritize on resources of capacity. Rather than earmarking, say for example, trips, can they earmark more capacity?
Yes.
We have all government agencies and departments that can be able to do that. The Ministry of Public Service is one of them, where they come and induct leaders. But the time they give them for induction, to me, is not ample. Two, there is at every level, when government passes policies and bylaws and laws, they are always given information. And within that information, there is a position for every leader to know how they assimilate with that particular group they represent. And in there you find that there are rights, which rights must be felt at every level. That if you know that now we are going to launch a program for the youth, where as you as the youth leader are you part? Should it be the RDC launching? Where are you? Where are you going to launch from? How are you mobilizing the youth to disseminate what we have taught you to them, so that they too disseminate? You know, Uganda has been planned in such a unique way that we have levels in which we communicate, and at every level there is a youth leader. But because he or she is not talking, that is the misrepresentation. So we have provided the ground, and the ground is simple democracy. But on our side as government, we want to reprioritize on issues of capacity building, so that each one does their role.
From the position you're talking and the way you deliver your message, it seems you understand the importance of engaging youths in almost all aspects of this country.
Everything we are talking about right now is for the young people.
How can you help other district leaders all over the country to be able to understand what we're talking about, the importance of engaging the young people, and how can the gap be bridged to make sure that the youth are in tandem with the leaders?
You see, when you have a problem, you must find a solution for it. I, as an RDC, I discovered that the people that I serve, majority of them are youth, and I have put much of my priority on the young people. And the reason is very simple. I don't want them to lose the way. We must guide them. So I want to inspire and also request the leaders to prioritize on issues of the youth. One of the key areas to prioritize on them is first listen to them. They need first to be listened to. Get to understand what is it that they are thinking. At what level are they thinking it? And then how do I pull them to begin thinking national? Not me thinker, but national thinker. You cease to be a youth and now you start thinking as a nation, as a nation. So that what you do daily, bit by bit, has an effect on the nation.
Wow, amazing. Any other message you have for the young people?
Of course, one, my message to the young people is that love your country. We should love our country. I am a Ugandan and I would not wish to be anywhere else. You too, you have a deliberate reason to love your country because you're born here. It's a lovely country, full of peace, great environment, a lot of opportunities. So love it and tap onto the opportunities that have been brought for you.
Thank you so much, Pamela. Pamela is the RDC Manafa district, and she has been talking to us about empowering the young people through patriotism. I do believe as a leader outside there, from the district to the national level, you understand why it is very important to engage these young people. Are over 77% of the population of this country. And when we do that, these are going to foster development for our country as we look forward to gaining the middle income status. Follow me on my socials at I_Tumukunde on Twitter, I_Tumukunde on Instagram, Tumukunde on Facebook. I thank you so much for watching Youth of Purpose. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Youth of Purpose.